The reason why you don't have more clients and the reason why you don't have more followers is because you are not being authentically yourself and sharing your truth. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine. I'm so happy that you're here. Today, I want to get all into story and storytelling. You have a unique perspective that no one else has, and it's time that you start talking about it and sharing that with the world. If you're new here, my goal is to help you become that content creator, become that online coach, do all the things that you want to do that you're too scared to do. So I'm going to be your cheerleader and your guide, but you got to rock with me. And here is a major thing that I see hindering a lot of us is sharing who we really are with the world. Now, I'm not saying we have to know every nook and cranny of your past life and everything that you've been through, but when you decide to show up, whether it's as a content creator, as an author, as a coach, selling products, at some point you have to realize that we're not just buying that because we want to buy that thing or buy that service. We are buying because we are invested in you. You are the thing that makes it interesting. We can buy socks from any place. We can buy candles from anybody, but something about your story, something about that you have been through and how it's connected to the brand makes it worth watching. So I do this exercise with some of my clients called Find Your Story. Where we do a little deep dive to figure out what is the story of your life that you want to share and how does it correlate or connect to the offering that you want to put out with the world. So I'll walk you through a few of those steps. The number one thing is to understand that you have to know that your superpower is your story. Your superpower is in the history of who you are and what you've experienced in life. Right? So you may have been adopted, or you may be from a small town, or maybe you're an immigrant. Like whatever it is that you've gone through, that has made up the whole of who you are at this moment. It doesn't mean you're not going to change again, you're not going to grow or evolve, but it gives you a very unique perspective in everything that you do. So let's just say, for the sake of this video today, that you want to start a coaching business. You want to help women, you want to be a life coach. Here we go. So you may be thinking, oh, Christine, there's so many other life coaches out here. Like, what's going to make me different? Your experience, your life experience, right? So even if it's 50 million life coaches out here, which I know there's a lot of them, but none of them have been through what you have been through. So when you coach women, you will be coaching them from the perspective of everything that you've been through. Now, what if you say, well, what if they don't like it? Well, that might happen. They may not be your people, but your people will find you. You will attract your people. Oftentimes, people who have maybe been through domestic abuse or something like that, or homelessness, maybe they'll connect to people who have had that journey too. And so now I want to know, well, how did you come from that experience to have this amazing life that you have now? I want to know your before and after, which leads me to my next point and tip for you today. Think about where you are now, but also think about where you came from. What hardships have you been through? What have been some challenges? What have been some roadblocks? I don't think any of us have lived a life that has just been peaches and cream and nothing bad has ever happened. There's not been a struggle or anything. I don't think that's true for anybody. We've all had our ups and downs. So there's something that you have experienced. And think about it as you watch this. Take a note. Pause if you need to. What have you been through? For some people, it could be, man, I lost 100 pounds. And this is the emotional roller coaster that I went on in that process. But after that, now I look this way and I feel this way. And I want to help women do the same thing. It's as simple as that. So for our life coach example, maybe you've been through something, a really tough time in your life. And you were able to walk yourself through a process that got you on the other side of it. Now you're working your dream job. You're in a successful relationship. You have healthy boundaries. And now you help other women do the same thing. It's really easy to think that your story isn't special enough, that there needs to be some extra bit of bells and whistles. And I want you to know that it's good enough as it is. it's very tempting as you see other people online. I know it's so easy to compare yourself and think, oh man, they have it all together or they have more experience. You can't judge someone where they are right now and not take the whole ride with them. You may be looking at me like, well, she has this. Well, you don't know the journey that I've been on. Trust me, I got some stories, plural, okay? a whole slew of stories that has gotten me right here. And I feel like the more I lean into the stories and own my path, the more confident I feel. So sometimes I know when you're first starting as a content creator or as an online coach or as an entrepreneur at all, you might end up dealing with a little bit of imposter syndrome, right? It's that feeling of, do I know enough? Or why would anybody listen to me? Who am I to talk about this? I'm only this age, or I'm this old, or who's going to care? I know all of those things. So here's another little tip for you to deal with that. This is something I tell my actors when I'm coaching actors. I tell them to give that name, give that voice, that inner critic, give it a name. My inner critic's name is called Veronica. Veronica. You can call yours whatever you want to. I've heard some funny names over the years as I have done this exercise with people. But I want you to think of a name. Don't let it be a name that you like. Like, let it be a name that, and no shade to the Veronicas out there. If you're a Veronica girl, I'm sorry. But find a name that just doesn't sit well with you. Like, that you just, that way you know it's not you. I named my inner critic Veronica, so I knew that wasn't Christine talking back to me. It's important for me to know that Christine loves herself. Christine believes in herself. Christine is the one that is having these ideas and all this excitement to try new things. It's Veronica. It's this outside entity that's coming in and trying to talk down to me and tell me that nobody's going to care and who's going to listen and who do you think you are? Like all the things that you imagine. A lot of times when we're afraid to post something online, we say it's about people being judging us and strangers and people from high school and family. But more than anything, it's that voice. We're more afraid of that voice because that voice is the one that is around us all the time. And let me tell you, that voice is quiet. She ain't got nothing to say when you ain't doing nothing, honey. When you just on the couch, eating, gaining weight, doing some BS, not making money, she is quiet. But as soon as you wake up, as soon as you start working on yourself, waking up early, going to the gym, having business ideas, thinking of doing something that feels a little bit out of your comfort zone, here she go. Ain't nobody gonna care. Who gonna read that? Who do you think you are? You know, people do it so much better. You don't have enough experience. Anything, all the things. Give that voice a name so that you can say, Veronica, enough. There are days I would walk around this house. I'd be like, I hear you, girl. I hear you. And thank you. Right. Thank you for bringing up your concerns. They have been heard. Thanks. Got it. Noted. But I'm going to do it anyway. I've written 2 books, but my second book especially, it's a book called Playing Small. The Actor's Guide to Becoming a Booking Magnet. In my other career, as my other business, I call myself a booking magnet because I'm a student of law of attraction and I attract bookings and all the good stuff to my life, right? But when I was getting ready to write that book, which is really just all about mindset, I remember having so much fear and anxiety, and Veronica got so loud to the point I put that idea off at least 6 months. I had the idea for about 6 months, and the voice just was so loud, so discouraging. And, I don't even really remember what it finally took for me to start. I think I got to this point as I did my own personal development of feel the fear, do it anyway. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Like, yes, okay, yes, I'm scared. Yes. And then I just started to own and speak out loud what I heard Veronica saying to me. Like, I wrote it down. So I got a piece of paper and then I folded it in half. And on one side of the column, I wrote the things that Veronica was saying. No one's going to care about this book. You're not qualified to write this book. You don't even have a college degree. Who's going to read this book? You're not famous. Nobody cares. Like, it was nasty. Ooh, nasty, mean things. But once I got it out and owned what the darkness was, owned what the real fears were, like, what's the worst thing that I think will happen? Well, I wrote it down. I'll write it and no one will buy it. I'll write it and people will laugh at me. I owned it. But then on that other side of the column, I wrote the opposite. I wrote the best case scenario. It was more of the what if. Like, what would be the opposite of that? What's the opposite of no one's going to read this? No one's going to read. I'm going to write this and no one will read it. The opposite was I'm going to write this book and it will be a bestseller. This book will fly off the shelves. And I did that for each thing. Who am I? Who are you to write this book? I'm Christine Horn. I've been an actress for over 30 years. I have life experience. I have ups and downs. I've worked through rejection and failure. And I just started standing up for myself. And honey, by the end of that, I was like, all right. And I'll never forget, I was in Vancouver filming a TV show called The Good Doctor. And there were some mornings where I didn't have to go to work early, and there was a coffee shop across the street from the hotel. And I was like, you know what? It was very like cozy and had a cool vibe. And I started writing my book in Vancouver. And then when I got done filming, because I was just there for like 2 weeks, I just made a decision. And I will come back to that. I made a decision to wake up because at the time I was still working like little bit jobs here and there. But I told myself I'm going to wake up every morning at like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., like before my day started, and give myself 90 minutes a day. And for 90 minutes, I'm going to write. And then when I'm done, I will just stop. And I ended up doing that and wrote my book in 3 months. And that was I released it in 2019. But I want you to know it started. I had the same imposter syndrome. So if you take nothing away from today's video, name that voice and get honest about why you're not posting the content. Get honest about why you know you have something to offer the world, but you're saying you're too scared to share it. Why? Let's get real about it. Because there is something inside you that can be of such a gift to the world. And you're playing small. Just like I was honest with you, like I was playing small with this channel. And I know it sucks to start from zero. It sucks to start from zero. We want to start at 1 million followers. Yes, but that's not. Beyonce didn't start at being Beyonce that we know and love now. She started in that house with her dad and Kelly and walking in heels and training all day and not getting sleep as a little kid. Like that's how Beyonce started. So I need you to get real with yourself. Be honest. And look, this might bring up some tears. This might shake up some things inside of you to own what the darkness is, what that voice is really telling you. Listen, again, in my other business, I coach actors. You talking about some insecure, scared people. Rejection every day. Being judged every day. Like, you talk about tough skin. Whoo! So I think I'm gonna give y'all some more, like even just some more tips that I give actors over here, because it will help you just stand in the what if of your life. If you don't feel confident, well, who can you borrow confidence from? You're scared to make that video? Well, who do you watch that feels like they have it all together? Embody that energy. Try it on for size for the day. See what it feels like. But having imposter syndrome is not uncommon, but we don't have to stay there. I don't want you to post up there. Own it. Get real about what the stuff is. Which leads me to the last thing I want to share today. And I kind of touched on it earlier. And that was the word that changed everything for me when it came time to actually write my book. And that was, I said it earlier, I made a decision. I decided. So we can talk about a lot of things. And I know I got this idea and I got that idea. Well, I might try this, I might try that. But once I decide, oh, it's a wrap. It's a done deal. When I say I've made the decision to, oh, it's done. So like even with this playlist that you're watching, I made the decision to post a video every day for 30 days, just to get myself warmed up on this new channel, to get my ideas out that I've been waiting to share, but I didn't want to share it on my actor page. So I do, if you're an actor, you can go to my Christine Horn page on YouTube and watch a ton of actor videos, but that's not what this is here. So that's what I'm doing, but I decided. So what decision do you need to make today to make a shift in your life? What's it going to take for you to post that video? It doesn't have to be this long. Let it be 2 minutes. Do it. Do it. You're watching everybody else do it. Why aren't you? I've been there watching people from the sidelines thinking, oh, I'm going to take some more notes. Let me take a few more notes. Let me watch 10 more videos. Child, if you don't stop, I get to the point what helped me, especially on YouTube, because you can end up scrolling, and I just I just add things to my watch later folder. So if I come for inspiration, fine, but then I'm just adding it to my watch later folder, and I save those things for when I'm like cooking or like driving in the car and just want to hear and I can listen. But when I have time that I could be using to make my own content, I can't let myself stay in the rabbit hole of under the guise of searching or researching or gathering information, because that was 4 hours lost. I teased myself last night. I laughed. I was in the bed, and being in the bed, when you're awake or almost sleepy but not ready to go to bed, for me, that's a good time to edit like a TikTok or Instagram reel. And I caught myself looking for a sound on TikTok. Next thing I know, I was like, oh, I found the sound. I saved it. Next thing I know, I'm scrolling and laughing. You see that? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be posting my own stuff. I came on here to post this video. And I done landed down the rabbit hole. And I caught myself. I said, ah. And it doesn't mean I don't get to go and have fun and be on the scroll and kiki. That I can, but not during the time. I haven't posted my own stuff yet. I got to post my stuff first. Let that be my reward for after. Like today, after I'm done with this video, I'm going to eat myself a lovely meal because I did the thing I said I was going to do. Because why? I made a decision. What decision must you make? Put it in the comments below. And I want you to start the sentence with, Christine, I decided to, and then blank. What is it? Christine, I decided to post once a week. Christine, I decided to start my TikTok. Christine, I decided to launch that service. Christine, I want to know. That way you can come back to this post and hold yourself accountable. I'm going to love on you. I'm going to cheer you on. And the rest, we can cheer each other on. But it has to start with a decision. I'm going to go deeper in these weeks, going deeper into story and storytelling. And no matter what your service is, or if you're, working to be a content creator as an influencer, UGC, doesn't matter. Your story and how you approach it will impact all of that. And that will make you stand out and different and wonderful, right? So I'll dive more into that. And if you have any questions about that, you can certainly leave a comment below. But I'm going to see you here for the next part of the series. And I'm so excited for you. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the little bell to be notified, because I'm coming back. Why? Because I decided to.